Welcome to ODSC Halo Guide, and here you're going to see some perfection gameplay where I go 30-0 on Exile, and I'm going to do this mostly using the beam rifle. So pretty much I'm just going to teach you my strategy for getting perfections, a lot of general tips, and a lot of specific things for this map. So basically, I'm a sniper. Everyone who's watched a lot of my videos knows I snipe all the time, and that's pretty much how I like maneuvering and playing the game. So I'm going to rush beam rifle spawn. And the beautiful thing about beam rifle spawn, especially if you're on red team, is that you immediately overlook the blue base when you have the beam rifle. Like, that's just a perfect point to see the enemy base. But you're also not far from a vantage point where you can see your own base and you kind of help defend the flag there. Like, see, I've already maneuvered back into a position where I can help defend and stop other people from capturing. So definitely you want to know how to maneuver. And notice I'm staying in the back of the map, kind of away from a lot of people. I have a sniper, so I can afford to be very far away. And the beautiful thing about that is I kind of gain the advantage of them not being able to hit me because they're so far away. If you start fighting where people get so close to you, like right there, I'm a little too close to that guy already, he can kind of shoot me. So you want to keep as much distance away from you, especially if you have a sniper. But even if you don't have a sniper, if you're doing things like with a BR or a DMR or something, it's still important to keep that range, carbine, all the precision weapons. You want to stay as far away as you can while still getting the kill. And everyone has that kind of butter zone. You gotta find it. It's pretty much wherever that radical will be red still when you're zoomed in. So that's kind of where you want to be range-wise for your weapon. If you're going with short-range weapons, you really want to just get as close as possible. And there's a completely different strategy for that. But I'll talk about some of the general rules for that in a second. So, the first thing you really want to do to get a perfection is you have to consistently win fights. To get 30-0, I have to consistently get kills in 30 different instances without being beaten by the other player. That's the only way I can get a 30 kill perfection. By the way, I'm just going to warn you that there's a little skip in the video you'll see where people quit. And that actually caused it to go black screen, and everyone knows there's that glitch in Halo where it resets your kill spree. So even though I get 30 kills without dying, it only ever gives me the untouchable, just to warn you guys. But you can count them if you really feel like that abstinent, and there are 30 kills, I guarantee. So now that we can get back to it. So basically, to get a bunch of kills, you have to consistently win. So you have to consistently find ways to gain advantages over other people. Now, of course, some things are like your basic skill as a player, which are being able to land shots, land grenades, things like that. Basic things like that. Especially just your grenades and your shots being accurate. Those are the very important things that you need to learn how to do. So that just kind of comes with time. You can't, unless you really just specifically practice that in a custom game, it's really hard to kind of farm that experience and guarantee it. Other things you can do is get the first shot in. The best way to win a fight is to get the first shot in, because if two guys with a BR are facing against each other, and each of them have solid shots, and they're equal, the guy who gets the first shot in is going to win. He's going to get the first 4 shots out, which will equal the first kill. And that's how it's going to play out every single time, unless there's other things, like grenades that get landed properly or something. But if you're talking just evenly, the person who lands the first shot is able to get it. And you'll see a lot of my kills, I'll start off, I'll throw a grenade while people's coming around the corner, and I'm able to kill them while they're coming, or I'm at least able to lower their shield while they're coming around the corner, and that allows me to gain the advantage to win the fight. Other things that you have to do is realize when you can't fight. So there are certain situations where you just have the disadvantage. Like right there, someone was way too close to me, so I'm gonna wait till they go off my radar. Then I'm gonna start sending holograms at them. I didn't realize they were already at our flag actually, so that was my fault. You see, right here is just the important thing is if you think you're even or outmatched, you want to get behind cover. Like I was running behind that rock as I was getting shot at because I didn't want to die. So you never want to engage in fights that you don't know you can win unless they are very necessary, like they are a flag carrier and you have to stop them in order to get the kill. In any other situation, you have to make sure you can win the fight before you engage in it. So let's say you are half shield and someone else comes around the corner and they're full shield, then you're gonna lose. The only way you can win is if you have a power weapon, which is basically the next thing, which is to get power weapons. different things like the sniper rifle, rockets, shotguns, they allow you to gain different advantages of your people in different situations. You know, using the sniper rifle especially, I look for different instances where I can kind of gain angles on people, and this map is great for that. For specifically Exile, this beam rifle spawns every 2 minutes. I basically can't use the ammo as fast as they're giving it to me. It's very difficult to do so. So, what I can do is I can kind of stick around that spot, and while I'm sticking around beam rifle spawn, I'm actively camping their spawns. So I'm helping the team, and I'm doing it at a very odd angle, and I'm usually getting the first shot in. And that all means that I have the advantage of not only getting the first shot in and getting damage, so strategically I'm better, but I also have a power weapon, which means my firepower is just better by default. So you'll see right here, I just kill people. People can't even kind of stand up to me because I have so much power and I'm coming from such angles where I can overpower them. And by the way, if you are camping here, that lift to my left, that is your best way to get to the middle of the map and out of combat fast. So if you think you're going to lose, that is the best way to get out, in my opinion, if you're using the beam rifle and camping that area, which I highly suggest if you're a sniper. So you always want to make sure you have power weapons and you have some kind of situational advantage. This is all about strategy. See, like right here, I was pretty sure I was going to lose, so I backed up, and I was kind of putting up grenades that were barriers to keep people away from me, so that they didn't want to chase me. If they did chase me, it gave me enough of an advantage where they're no shield where I can get that kill. So it's all about making sure you don't go when you really can't afford to. That's what a lot of people have trouble with, which is they kind of are willy-nilly sacrificing their life out there. And they're giving away their positions, and they're willing to die so easily. And they're not really watching their own shields, so they get confused whenever they die, which is a pretty common thing you'll see, especially with new players. So you always got to watch your shields, and watch your radars too, because that's how people really get the drop on you, which is they go ahead and they sneak up behind you while you're not watching your radar. So especially if you're a sniper, stay scoped out, because if you're scoped in, you can't see your radar. So you want to stay scoped out to see your motion tracker as much as possible. Unless you have the perk that allows you to see the motion tracker while you're scoped in. But I prefer not to use that just because I have the ammo perk. That allows me to get more bullets out of the sniper rifle, which is especially important with the beam rifle because you can't pick up ammo elsewhere. And everything else like that. I basically get 2 extra shots. So pretty much you just don't want to get cocky with it, right? Like especially kind of right here. I'm kind of out in the open where I really shouldn't be, but I'm kind of just getting carried away with it and go ahead and sticking out. This is a situation, what I'm doing right now, it kind of shows you what you really shouldn't be doing in the current situation. See, this guy comes around right here, and he actually lands that grenade. I should have just ran straight at him. And had he been shooting, he probably would have killed me, and that would have been the end of my perfection right there. So you always want to make sure you run away from fights like that, because I almost lost. And you only really have to fight if you can't get out of it. Like I said, like right there, I at least threw a hologram at him, so even if he knows it's a hologram, he still has to spend that split second thinking about it to really recognize that's a hologram. And while he's spending that split second, and I'm popping around the corner unexpected, I'm able to pull off 2 shots, and that's already half the kill right there. So a lot of it is strategy, finding out what works for you. Different powers give you different abilities to perform strategy. Promethean Vision's another good one. Jetpack allows you to get a lot of weird angles, especially high ground. You want to look at coming from as high as possible down on people, because if you notice, it's really hard to fight people who are higher than you. And it's really easy to fight people who are lower than you, just as a general thing. It doesn't work in every situation. Sometimes, especially on specific ramps and everything and inclines, that's not the case. But generally, in most situations, that's what you want to be. So you want to be on the higher ground and kind of shooting down on people. So let's say there's a rock in between you and this other player. Well, if you jump on top of the rock, you can shoot down on him, and he's expecting you to walk around the rock. So he's aiming right there, and you come from up top. He's not only surprised, but now he has to aim up at you. And you can just drop down and get cover at any given time. He can't drop down and get cover. So you have the very distinct advantage of getting high and getting all these specific things. It's all about figuring out these little things to get perfections, and just making sure you don't risk death too much. That's really the important thing. But definitely, if we had to summarize all the things to get to perfection, it's make sure all your fights you are basically a sure thing, where you have some kind of distinct advantage that puts you ahead, and these can be landing a grenade first, landing the first shots, coming from a weird angle, getting height on them. Different things like that can give you a distinct advantage, especially if they have lower shields than you just to start off, because maybe they fought one of your friends just around the corner and now they're coming for you. So you can get different advantages like that. You also need a power weapon. To get a perfection, you almost always have a power weapon. There are very few situations where I've gotten a perfection where I have not gotten power weapons. Also, so those are very important things to look at. You also just want to make sure that you're not obsessing about getting the perfection, because you still want to be a team player. Like right here, I'm pushing up still, but I'm not like sitting in the back of our base being a camper the whole time. I'm still kind of getting in there, and by playing objectively and by like sitting around the flag and sitting around their base and kind of picking them off there, not only am I farming kills, but I'm also benefiting the team. Like right here, killing the flag carrier not only gives me this untouchable right here, but it also allows me to benefit our team in getting the flag, and it allows me to at least move up to a new position where I can stop the flag later. So maneuverability is also another thing about getting perfections. You have to be able to move in and out of fights and to better angles where you can see different people fighting. So definitely, to get a perfection, you need that. And other perfection, the last thing about perfection is really just recognizing when you're beat and running away. There's no shame to running away from a fight that you know you were going to lose. That's just idiocy. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over with expecting a different result. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So if you're sitting there and you're just expecting a different thing to keep happening, when you keep having half shield and you fight a different guy, and you just keep expecting to win, and you know you're gonna lose, you're just being insane right there. This has been ODST guy. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I hope you guys all liked the video. These have been some perfection tips. I have another perfection if you guys want to see some more tips like that. But just show me your support, and I might upload another one. ODST, out.